Hey everybody, welcome back. Classy man Jared. Hey. Everybody was asking questions. They're like, "Where's Classy? Where's Jared?"
When I heard the Game Heroes were coming back, and there's just throngs of people, just running me down, telling me you gotta come back. And I heard all of you, and here I am. So.
Well, that's great, man. Love having you. It's been a long time. I mean, I haven't seen you since Mickey's going away party.
Yeah,
so,
I don't think. Yeah, and I haven't seen Mickey since then either.
Yeah, well, because he moved like a dick.
Yeah. Right.
I keep trying to convince him to move back, but why don't you fill us in, man? Playing any games now? What have you been up to?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still play a lot of games. I guess like life stuff. I'm married. I have a kid.
We're so old.
I know. I'm very. Yeah, I mean, truly, I feel older every single day. Yeah, I mean, currently kind of obsessed with Starfield, which I think probably a lot of people are. I still haven't really kicked that, and can definitely talk about that at length if you would like to. But
I played it today, so
yeah.
I've been slowly pacing myself on it though, because I've also been playing several other things. But is that a Wii U I see in the background? On the top shelf?
No, this is like this.
Yeah.
That's a little Polaroid printer. But I do have I have an NES and an SNES, and I've got 2 Game Boys and a 3DS and a DS. Got those Game & Watch Nintendo things they just put out recently.
Well, I just saw a big article on the Wii U is going to be the next collector's thing because they didn't sell very many of them. Nobody cares.
Right.
So while it's cheap, they're like, buy it up, buy as much as you can, and
that's crazy.
Yeah.
That was one of the E3s we went to. Was like the big.
Dude, it was so cool at E3 though. My biggest disappointment though was the lack of portability. I'm like, they gave me this cool handheld controller, and I was upset that I couldn't take it in the car, or what I'm saying, exactly what the Switch fixed. But that's what I thought it was going to be, and because they wouldn't let us play it, they had it behind those stupid plexiglass.
For sure.
Anyway,
yeah, lots of Beatles rock band at that E3 too.
Well, that's when I saw Paul McCartney. You remember that?
Yeah.
I left the Microsoft conference early, and I was sitting out there, just happened to be in the smoking section. He sits next to me and lights up a cigarette. I'm like, this is before cell phone cameras. I'm so pissed. That's how long time ago that, again, getting old.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I looked at, just because I was watching you guys last week, the podcast you did with Mickey, and I was just like, oh, what's on the channel? And the last podcast we did was 9 years ago?
It'll be 10 years. It doesn't feel like it's that long.
No, it doesn't at all.
And I think we did that a year after we stopped, too. So, we just came back, and we were thinking about coming back again. So, yeah, it's been a minute.
It's been a long time. There's, some of that old content, man, that, especially the stuff, I produced, the reviews and stuff from, damn, I don't even know. There's some pretty rough stuff out there.
we had a great time, though. I mean, I was looking at, like I said, I found a hard drive with all the stuff in it, and, man, some of our launch videos are epic.
Oh, I believe it.
Why did we chug a gallon of milk at the Reach launch? Who cares? Just to watch Mickey puke at the end.
Hey guys, 8-Bit Mickey here, and I'm in front of the GameStop for the Halo Reach release. Everyone's excited, but I'm a little bit more excited because I have a challenge to myself. I will chug this gallon of milk before Halo's release in 15 minutes, because it's about 45, it's 11:45.
Reach. Mickey, how does it feel?
It's not that bad because it just tastes like milk coming back up.
Is it still cold?
Yeah, actually, it's still cold.
Finish it for Reach.
So we learned 2 things today. People really like Halo, and people also really like watching me chug then throw up milk. For Reach.
I mean, we dressed up. I would. They can't do that anymore. I guess, like you said, I don't know. Like Mickey last week told me you're not allowed to film at GameStop midnight releases anymore. That's pretty week. I don't know what happened, but
Yeah, I wonder if it's like dependent on the management or something. But yeah, I loved those midnight release videos. Those were so fun.
man, it was a party everywhere we went.
Yeah, no doubt.
But actually, we're talking about recent things that we've done. I went to a place called Eva, which is in Highland Village, Texas. I mean, down the street
Cool.
from where I live, and it's the world's largest VR.
So it's like you sent me the link. So it's like you can just go and pay and do like a.
Yeah, but I mean, it's this
VR.
huge arena. Like it's a massive undertaking. You put on the VR headset, you have this really cool gun, and then you're running around. I mean, they don't want you to obviously run, but you can kneel and walk quickly and pace yourself. And then they don't tell you everything, which is kind of nice. So, I see this round curve thing in the corner. I'm like, what the hell is this? So I walk up to it and I realize you can shoot it. It's an elevator to go up top, and that's when I start just sniping people up top because nobody knows how to get there. So it's really cool, but it's lacking something, and I couldn't put my finger on it. So we did Team Deathmatch, we did King of the Hill, and then we did Free For All. And the biggest problem I have with Free For All is so you don't run into each other. If somebody dies, you can see their outline. So it's just the spawn killing, like. So Team Deathmatch is the only thing I would play. Or King of the Hill was okay. They also have a zombie mode, which I was going to try next time. We didn't have time to try it, but. Really cool setup. They've got this huge bar area, and then they have arcade machines that have emulators on, so you can just play whatever you want, and it's free.
Oh.
So go up there, have a beer, and then go shoot each other. But man, Perfect Liz went nuts. Like she had like 19 kills on that King of the Hill because she found a way to sneak around the other person's base that nobody knew about. So she was just picking people off, and then
That's awesome.
yeah,
But it's not like. It's not a game. I mean, it's not like a licensed game, right? It's like
they're based in France, so they I think they built their own system, or their own gameplay.
Okay.
I mean, it feels kind of like a Halo. Like think of it like a space shooter. So it's like a Halo type. I really liked it, but like I said, it's this close to being where it's gonna be where it needs to be.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. I've never done one of those. I would love to do something like that in like a big VR thing. Like literally the only VR I've ever experienced is PlayStation VR.
I haven't even done PlayStation VR. I have a what is it, MetaQuest 2, or what do they call it now instead of the Oculus 2?
Oh, did they change? Oh, yes.
Maybe they did.
Quest,
I don't know. Very cool. There's just not enough content. That's my biggest complaint with it. Yeah. So the Star Wars.
Do you
was
have the
fun.
game where like you can jump off? Of the
Yeah, I did the walk the plank.
Yeah.
Yeah. I figured it'd be fun for the kids. They like that one a lot. Elizabeth,
Nice.
Perfect Liz likes Beat Saber, but the Star Wars game was kind of the most immersive for me. It was just kind of fun to be able to pick things up and put things on your belt. And I didn't get into Resident Evil, but I probably should try it again.
Well, what about Half-Life? I mean,
It's not. It doesn't come. I can't buy. I think I can emulate it onto that platform, but it's not a part of their store, so I haven't taken the time to research it. But I did want to play Alex. That's what it's called. So Alex was on my list to play.
That's cool. Yeah, that's something I would definitely want to do if I had a VR set. But yeah, I guess it's probably Steam only, maybe.
I don't know. I researched it a little bit. I got it for the kids for last Christmas, so
Gotcha.
yeah. But
Nice.
it was good.
Cool.
But no, dude, if you want to play, man, if you and the wife are into it, I don't know if it's her thing though.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if the VR part of it would be like just gaming,
Just hanging out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
All right.
that sounds fun. We should do that.
We don't.
What else do you play other than you said you played Starfield?
I played Starfield today, so I like it a lot. I haven't gotten totally immersed into the shipbuilding yet, so I'm just kind of playing through and getting, spoiler maybe if you haven't started it, some of my powers. So I started collecting the artifacts. That's the safest way to put it.
Yeah.
And then I ran into, I don't want to spoil any of it, so don't worry about it. But it's,
I guess. Oh yeah, I wanted to know how much spoilery you wanted to get.
everybody's probably played it by now.
It's been a while. I mean,
Yeah,
it's been like 4 weeks
so
or
I'm at that point where I'm getting close to doing all the artifacts, and I have these invisible guys that keep popping up, but I don't know much about them yet. So that's as far
Sure.
as I am with the game.
I think that's a good level of spoilery.
Okay.
That we can kind of keep it there. I will say I'm like 50 hours in. I'm probably a little further than you.
Oh yeah.
But I definitely take my time. Like I have found, I've felt pretty immersed. Like even though this is definitely I'm the target audience for this game 100%. Like I love Bethesda Game Studios games. You've TJ or Tom, if like you typically have not played these games. I remember.
Oh no, man! Skyrim is amazing. I played Fallout. I played all the Fallouts.
Yeah, I guess for some reason, maybe I'm thinking of somebody else, but yeah. But yeah, this one, I love all these games, and I've been super excited about this one, and I really love it. I just love spending time in that universe, in that world. But there are things that I think are really weird, and it's not really a complaint, but I do think that like it's odd to me that specifically like the powers, right? So we were talking about powers. Sorry.
We have kids. It's cool.
Yeah, sorry. So like there's I feel like the powers are a little bit. It's almost like Skyrim-y. I feel it's a little weird for that to be in that game. I think they're having a hard time like giving Starfield its own identity instead of kind of just biting from their other games. You know what I mean? So like the powers to me feel very Skyrim shouts, right? Which is cool and all, but it's just not feeling super unique. And I feel like that's the weakest part of the game so far.
I think. And
then also like, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was to say you're kind of saying what everybody else is saying. It's like, is it the next level? No, but is it a great Bethesda game? It is.
Yes, 100%. Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
And like, it's just the way you even acquire the powers is kind of weird. But yeah, I mean, I really, really like it. I kind of hated Fallout 4 just because of the changes they made to the just more like role-playing stuff. Like they had the voiced protagonist, right?
Yeah.
So you couldn't really get super RP with it. But this fixed a lot of that. So I'm really, really loving it. It's weird too because like I bought Cyberpunk right before this came out to like bridge the gap. And so I played like, I don't know, maybe only like 20 hours of Cyberpunk before the 2.0 update. And I really, really liked that too. And it immersed me in a totally different way where like visually it was immersive and I felt more like I was living in that world than I really do in Starfield. Like in Starfield, I kind of feel like I'm manipulating a video game, but in Cyberpunk, I can, suspend disbelief and feel like I'm living in that world.
So far, I've gotten into Cyberpunk more than I have Starfield. But I mean, when I got it when it came out, but I had the Series X Xbox, so I didn't have those glitches that other people had.
Sure,
But I want to get the update. So the 2.0 and the expansion. I want to finish Starfield first. I try not to do too many balls in the air at once because I've got a wife, 3 kids, and work. So one thing at a time, unless something comes out or some arcade something.
Sure.
But
yeah, I'm doing the same thing. I'm trying to get through this. I mean, not like push my way through, but once I'm done with Starfield, I'm gonna do Phantom Liberty, and yeah, I'm super excited about that because I still haven't played it since the update came out. Because the 2.0 update is you can just get it now without buying the DLC. So I'm excited about that. I also have played Inscription lately. Did you ever play that?
I haven't played Inscription.
It's a you would think it's cool, I think, but it's definitely not in your wheelhouse. But I think kind of the atmosphere you would think is neat. It's it's like a deck builder kind of.
Okay.
But it came out a couple years ago, I think, and then they put it on console earlier this year. So I'm still fighting through that. I think I'm close to the end. I'm in Act 3, and that's a really interesting and cool game to just kind of get lost in the atmosphere. So it's a lot of fun.
One thing I did play, and I played the crap out of it, was the Quake 2 that they re-released. So
yeah, on Series X.
It's on Game Pass, but they made it look prettier, smoother, all that stuff. So I played through it all. So I did, Quake 2, the two expansions, the new expansions, and I played through Quake 64, which I've never beaten Quake 64 because the controls suck so bad. So,
one joy.
but it's very linear compared to the other ones. But man, I had a great time playing all of it. So I've kind of been playing old school first-person shooters a lot lately. There's another one. I'll try to remember the name for next time, but it's on Game Pass. But it's a new game that's built in like Heretic era style, or cool. Redneck Rampage, and it's on Game Pass. I had fun with it. I beat it, but I mean, it has all the same weird glitches and errors, and the sprites that are flat, like the old school Duke Nukem. That's what I was trying to say. Duke, like without the updates with Duke Nukem, if you walk around something, and you see the side, it'd be completely flat to your view. So it kept those glitches, and it's just an over-the-top, crappy voiceover intentionally. Just a fun experience if you enjoyed those games growing up.
Yeah, that sounds fun. You'll have to...
I'll share it with you. I'll post it. I can't think of the name of it for the life of me, but it's ridiculous. Like, it's just... Nice. You just want to turn your mind off and have fun and just be mind blown of the ridiculousness.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's over the top. But
well, so who else? So Mickey's not here, obviously. Mickey's...
yeah, I think Mickey's under the weather today, so hopefully he'll be back next week. So we miss you 8-Bit Mickey, but, life happens.
Yeah, for sure.
But, yeah, we were talking about this last week. Jeff and Jordan Doom, I've lost track of them. I know.
Yeah, I lost track of them.
I ran into Jeff every once in a while. So...
I think that Jeff used to live in my old hometown, where I used to live, but now I live, in Dallas, so... I'm not sure that, I don't know if they're still there. I have no idea. But yeah, I lost touch with them ages and ages ago. So.
Well, Arcade Sean, we didn't bring him up last week. I don't know if you guys remember Arcade Sean.
Oh, yeah,
so,
Sean.
Yeah, when we would go to all the arcade events, his dad was really into it. So that's kind of where we got all our information and how to buy and sell arcades and fix them. Arcade Pat. Those guys are great. So he's still alive. He's got a place in Louisville. He's still fun to hang out with. We play poker every once in a while with him and his dad. So... Cool. I see those guys. And then I talked to Limited Edition Jason. He might be on the show next week. So, he, like I said, emulator. He just said he bought a 10 terabyte hard drive full of every ROM ever made. So, that's awesome. Yeah, so I guess he has every GameCube game, and that's what I've really wanted to, because I pulling these out every time is just a pain in the butt now. I just want to hit a button and just go. Sure. Yeah, so.
Yeah, and you want them preserved, too, so you don't just want to,
yeah,
put wear and tear on new games and stuff. That's funny. I have gotten into a little bit of emulation, if you can call it that, with my 3DS.
Okay.
I've made that a pretty powerful little bad boy, just through some custom firmware lately, which was a lot of fun.
I need to get everyone one of these. So the guy who makes this beast, like I said, has just cleaned it up, so it's so nice and smooth. So actually, we're gonna do a test run. Hopefully this weekend. Might be up next week, but we're gonna start streaming some games. So using this beast of a machine, I'm gonna probably do Marble Madness with Mickey next week. Marble Madness is so short and sweet, something fun to talk about, and I want to make sure our equipment's working properly. Speaking of which, new mic, and then moved locations like people suggested. So we're getting up to speed.
Yeah, that backdrop's definitely better, but you gotta start somewhere.
Yeah.
Dude, Marble Madness, to me, like an all-time video game score, if you ask me. Those old chiptunes.
So wait, you have no, they're catching.
Love
it. There's two of them, like the first one and the third level. It just never gets out of your head. Yeah. Have you ever beaten the game?
Absolutely not.
So
I don't think so. I played it only on, for the most part, I had it on NES when I was a kid, so it was mostly the NES version. I don't ever remember playing the trackball arcade version.
The trackball was always broken, so that's why I never cared about the arcade version. Maybe I just had really crappy arcades, but the trackball was always broken for me. But yeah, I had it on NES, and the reason why I played the crap out of the game is because, we didn't have very many NES games growing up. I wish we had more. So my dad made us a deal. If we beat a game, he'd buy us a new game. So that's, obviously, no cheats, no level skips. So I couldn't, warp in Mario. I had to play through the whole game. and he had to be there to watch it. So, there's these
Then you get a
rules. Yeah, but God, I've been this close to beating that stupid Marble Madness a million times because that last level with the disappearing floor, I run out of time. I don't know. I'm hoping to beat it this weekend.
I wonder. I can't wait to watch. I think I may have been to that stage, but I don't know that I've ever finished it.
See, everybody might be able to get to that stage, but like you die because you run out of time because you're trying to pace yourself, and then you're just like.
Right, I forget about the timer. Yeah, that's like this. Bygone era of games that it was kind of in the new wave where like it was breaking away from timers and some of the old school stuff. But it still had all those like old vestigial things. But man, I love that game.
That's awesome. Why I like Jordan versus Bird. There was a
yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, you remember trying to do like a windmill dunk in Jordan versus Bird, like in the dunk contest thing or whatever? Yeah, it was so fucking hard. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's fine. We're good, man. We're old.
Okay.
No,
yeah, that's true.
It was weird timing. So you had to hold the ball down and release at the right time. So there's another game I played the crap out of because one of the few games I had. So it was like Jordan versus Bird, Lolo, Marble Madness, Batman. For the love of God, I've gotten a Joker.
Batman, yes.
That game is so hard. I mean, you have unlimited continues, but you run out of all your extra ammo. So when you get to the Joker, you just die because you don't have. So you have to do it in that first run. Anyway, I can go on about Batman forever.
I love it, and that's speaking of video game scores, another fantastic video game score, the Batman NES. So good.
I just like when you die, it like wraps up the music nicely. Like it goes with the music and then da 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 da, and then fades into it. Yeah. Anyway.
Awesome.
Yeah.
There was the Game Boy version of that Batman NES. That was the one of the things that I'd be on a road trip and it's 11 p.m. trying to play Batman on the Game Boy via the streetlights passing by. So you know what I mean?
That's another thing I've been playing through.
Pockets. They're both dark still. Even Game Boy Pocket, not backlit.
You need to get the Ninja Turtle collection. So if you want to play those Game Boy games, the first two solid. The third one, dude, it's a pain in the butt to go through all and climb up and down ladders. I mean, I'm glad they have save states, or I just probably wouldn't play it. Radical Rescue?
I don't think I played that. No, don't think I played that one.
Well, the first two are great. The third one, I could live without it.
The one of them was like Secret of the Foot or something, wasn't it?
Follow the Foot. I don't remember.
That one of those Game Boy. I like that one a lot.
I mean,
did you see Mutant Mayhem? Did you see the new movie?
Yeah, I saw the new movie.
Did you like it?
It was okay. I didn't not like it. I mean, they were trying to. It was fine. I didn't like Splinter that much in him. He wasn't my favorite. I love Jackie Chan, but I just didn't like the character for the game.
Right on. Yeah, I can see that. I enjoyed it. I think I mostly was just excited to see a kids movie that didn't make me want to die.
There's some good kids movies out there. Oh, I started watching Castlevania. That came out on Netflix.
I hear that is so good.
They start out slow. I'm not gonna lie to you. So the first couple episodes, you're kind of bored, and then especially the final season before this one just came out, it's great. It just picks up, and you just want to watch them kick vampire butt all over the place.
I might be into that. I'm not super into animated stuff, but I might give that a shot. Gotcha. Well, we're still producing content 10 years later.
That's actually longer than that because we started 5 years before that. So the first, I think, Game Heroes thing was what, 2006, maybe?
What was the first Game Heroes thing we did?
All together, I don't know. I just made the announcement, and then
I remember. Yeah, you made the announcement. I remember you guys did those intro videos.
Yeah, those were fun.
Those were really cool. I remember being jealous that I didn't have one.
Well, I think you guys joined later because it was me, Mickey, Elite Alyssa. If anybody remembers her, my brother dated her for a while. Side note. Jordan Doom, Shane. Shane was the most ridiculous guy ever.
Yeah, Shane was a really nice guy. I remember him.
Yeah, and then of course Jeff. and then we slowly added you, Joey, then Andy, and Jason, and then Mike Dodd, and we had
Yeah, I
fun.
can't believe Mike still does the prototype. I appeared on the prototype multiple times.
Yeah, he still does that, which is great.
Oh, good for him. Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, I remember we did. One of the first things. I mean, the collection videos were really early.
Oh, because of the hot sauce challenge.
Yes.
We laughed about that for weeks.
That was very funny. I still think that's funny.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a very fond memory of just like being in that house, and man, we were very, very young. I feel so different than I was then, but yet again, not that much different.
It's both. I think we just had the time and the energy. We would play Halo for 6 hours and be like, all right, let's film, and then write a script, have a beer, and then edit the next day. So we would just
Those Halo, I mean, just Halo 1, but also through Halo 3, like, I don't have better multiplayer memories than those. You know what I mean? Like, it never got better than that for me. Like, that was the peak of multiplayer for me, and I don't know that I'll ever have that much fun. Like, I don't play, like, a whole lot of, I don't play Call of Duty anymore. It's just not something I'm into. Are you still playing that?
Sadly, kind of. Not really.
I mean, no judgment.
No, I'm just, like, I want to be excited to play it, but I feel like all they're doing is copying and pasting old maps. So I got a free copy of not the most recent one, but the one before, because it was on PlayStation, whatever the PlayStation monthly fee, I got. So I downloaded it, and I was like, all right, this is interesting. And then I was like, wait, all the multiplayer maps are old maps. So it was, I knew everything. So it just, it's nice to have some throwback, but I also kind of want you to give me something something new. Like, I really like the challenge when everybody's on a level playing field and they don't know where to camp, they don't know where to jump, so it just kind of makes it, I don't know, it just makes it more of an interesting experience, especially at the beginning.
No doubt. Yeah, those, like, first couple weeks of a Call of Duty game, yeah. Pretty special back in the day. But, I mean, I have people trying to get me to do, download Warzone all the time or whatever, and it's like 150 gigs. And I don't know if I really want to do that anymore. I want to play this single player game, and
Yeah, I've been less into the competitive. Orlando, I forgot about Orlando. Yeah, so he's a fighting game guru. That's all he wants.
I mean, listen, I'll sit and play fighting games with somebody all day, but yeah, that's like a head-to-head thing. That's its own kind of unique experience. So
the Switch is the only, for people who collect video games, that is the system to collect the game on, because the game is actually on the cartridge instead of, you're buying an Xbox game and it has 10 megabytes on it and just downloads it from the server.
Sure, it's just like a key.
Yeah, so there's a huge community just for collecting for the Switch. And there's, what is limited run game? I mean, there's a whole stack of different companies that are doing it.
Oh, yeah. I don't buy a whole lot of physical games anymore. I've never been a game collector like you have, really.
I think this is the last generation, man. I think we're done.
Yeah. It seems like it, yeah. It's really sad. But I do think there will be the niche, like, limited run games. So, like, I don't know, for example, like, I bought the Legend of Bumbo physical edition for the Switch, which is a game from Edmund McMillan, who created Binding of Isaac. So.
There is the Castlevania one. Perfect. Liz bought that for me for my birthday. So it's not open, but it's a shadow box that lights up and has the sounds and has the physical copy of the Castlevania collection in there. It's pretty cool.
That is very cool.
Yeah,
I think that will be more. Not every game's going to be physically released, but it's almost going to be more of a collector's market, because there will be, and it's going to be tougher for you because you're, all these companies are going to be literally pandering to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. To us old people who enjoy owning the game for real instead of, the more I see servers getting shut down, the more I'm glad I have the games. Like all the 3DS games that got, or not 3DS, 2DS, was it? What store got shut down?
The 3DS eShop. Yeah,
3DS, yeah. So everything you bought gone. So like you don't really own
Yeah.
anything anymore. So that's also kind of why.
Unless I wish there was some creative way to get all those games back.
Yeah, it's called the
Like
emulation.
maybe custom firmware. But yeah, I mean that's the people have definitely, there's workarounds to everything. It just depends on how willing you are to delve into it. So.
Right. Well, Jared, thanks for joining. We hope to see you more in the future. I'd love to play some video games. If you want to challenge me to NBA Jam or whatnot, I'm here.
Yeah, like who was on the Mavs in NBA Jams?
Sean Bradley,
And,
George
Dumas?
McLeod, Jim.
No way,
I don't think it's that old.
Yeah.
Jason
Nate
Kidd.
Perkins?
Jason Kidd's one of them.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I know Jason Kidd's on there. But yeah, I'm about to beat all 42 teams with the Mavericks actually.
That is awesome.
On the beast of a machine. I wish it had NBA on NBC.
Yes.
Showtime. That's the one. That's the only thing I wish I had was Showtime. Like I could have done without. I have it on the Dreamcast.
Also a midway game?
Yeah, I guess it was a midway game.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay. I just couldn't remember if it was. I guess it makes sense that it was the same people.
You know what? Arcade 1-Up's going to come out with the Ultimate Edition someday, and it'll have 10 iterations of whatever. So.
For sure.
Anyway, thanks for joining. Hopefully Mick will be back next week, and then we will see more of the classy man in the future.
Sounds good. Yeah. Thanks for having me, man. It was good talking to you, and I will see you all soon.